welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all of the new comic books coming out this Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. Now, this could technically be the second. I don't know if all your shops are going to be open on New Year's Day or not, but books are due to come out Wednesday. Whether your shop gets them or not is really not in my control, but this is my weekly look ahead, showing you all the things coming out when you do go to your shops, whether they be things you should be picking up with some buzz, some interesting variants coming out this week, things I'm looking forward to reading, anything that I think is worth noting. I'm going to bring it up on this show right here to give you a heads up before you go to your shops this week to pick up your books. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And with that all said, if you just want to see what books we have coming out this week and you just want a quick rundown on them, don't worry, I got you covered, and I'll be right back after this short little break. All right, we're going to start off this week, as we do every week, with my personal picks. These are the books that I can't wait to get a hold of, my top of the pile type stuff, things that I'm just really looking forward to grabbing this week. Starting off with the next installment in the Absolute DC universe, and that is Absolute Superman number 3. And while Superman isn't my favorite of this bunch of Absolute series, it's still entertaining enough that I want to see where they're going with this. I don't love all the changes they've made, but I'm still on board to see where they're going with this. I'm open to change and willing to give them some time to expand upon some of these ideas that they're giving me. But I will admit when I don't like something, and you guys know that I'll tell you when I don't. With that said, I don't love all this going back to Krypton type stuff. I get it. These are new stories that they can explore because Superman's never really been there, etc. But it's just not, I don't know. It's just too different. I don't know. Maybe it's too different for me. I don't know. I just don't like the idea of Superman that grew up there. I don't know. It's not the same. But hey, we'll see. And I guess it's good that it's not the same. That's what keeps it interesting, I guess. We do have multiple covers here with a cover A right there. And then we've got some B's and C's. And then we've even got some Virgin versions here for the 1 in 50, which is so similar to the trade dress. I don't know why you won't just grab the trade dress and save a few bucks. But hey, it's your money. You do what you like. And there's a 1 in 25 here as well. Yeah, neither of these are doing much on the aftermarket because they are printed pretty heavily because there's a lot of fans of these series so far. So there's plenty of these to go around, and you mix in some, store exclusives, etc. There's even more. But if you're interested, you can probably find them for ratio or less. With that said, let's shift on over to Marvel for a few new number ones that, yeah, they could have gone in the new number one section, but I think these are still kind of interesting enough that I want to take a look at them, including Deadpool Wolverine. Everybody loved the movie, right? I mean, it was a hit. It was entertaining. I get the idea of trying to put these two together more often than not, but don't know how well this is going to work. But I'm willing to give it a shot, which is why I have it here on my pull pile near the top of the list, because I am curious again. So Wade and Logan together again. Let's see how this goes. $4.99 for this new number one. Multiple covers. There's cover A's. We got B's and C's and with the art bits. And then we've got blanks. And then we've got studio designs, which is kind of cool with the tan and brown. And then we got the little doodle cover there as well. All open order. Get the one that you like. And then we also have this beauty from Frank Miller.
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
Yes, this is another WTF moment because, oh my God, I don't know what I'm looking at here. I just really don't. And again, I'm not trying. I say it all the time. Some stuff's good, some stuff's bad. This is not good at all. I mean, look at Wolverine's mask. What is that supposed to be? It looks partly like a star fruit and partly like, I don't know, an American traditional tattoo. The way they do the leaves on the rose, this is what it looks like his head is. What's going on? What's going on here? How did this get okayed? Apart from the fact that the line drawing is just, there's nothing to back. Did this take 15 minutes? I don't know. That said, Can't believe this is also your 1 in 100 if you really want to go shell out a whole bunch of extra money for it, because it's out there. And then we got 1 in 25 is pretty cool. The 1 in 50 by Greg Capullo is not bad either. But wow, that 1 in 100 is just, it's just not good. It's just not good. With that said, let's move it on to another new number one. Sam Wilson, Captain America, starting a brand new series just in time for the new movie. And I know I brought it up, I think, on Dollar Bin Digging last week, that issue 3 will bring back an old familiar character. But before we get to issue 3, we got to get issue 1. So here's our issue 1 coming out to start the new year. Red Hulk included. Looks like we're getting Patriot and maybe even a little bit of action from Storm. With that, multiple covers here. Great Torrin Clark there in the middle. I like some of these other options here, including the Garson. I love those like mosaic put together covers. They're just awesome. They're just cool to look at, and it's great to kind of just take a look at some of those sometimes. Open order for all of these, and then we do have some incentive variants with a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50, 1 in 100. I'm sorry, which is a version of that sweet Torrin Clark cover. With that said, this thing got a little bit of action on the pre-sale market. We'll see how it goes. I only found one actual sale, but it was $175 for a 1 in 100. And then listings are asking 175 and 250. Those are some big numbers, but this is issue 1 of a 1 in 5 series. I don't know how many are going to order enough to get and qualify for this 1 in 100. So maybe there won't be a lot of these out there. That said, still be wary, be careful. That's a lot of money to ask for a new book coming out just on the shelves, albeit a 1 in 100 not. With that said, we are also getting a new What If series or What If one-shot from Marvel with another new character filling in the role of Galactus's herald. This time out, it's the Hulk. So what if Galactus transformed the Hulk into his herald? All right, could be cool. We got a Ron Lim cover here on the cover A. We've got an awesome Stephen Platt there in the middle. And then we've got kind of a EC horror-ish, almost kind of throwback. Well, maybe not even just old classic Marvel even. Just pretty cool options here, as far as covers go. And then we do have decent other ones here, including, well, a Frank Miller, which, honestly, it's not great. But compared to the Wolverine, it's fantastic. That said, honestly, though, this isn't bad. Like, this is all right by my standard. It's granted, it's not the greatest rendition of Galactus, but at least it's got something going for it, I guess. I mean, with the planets and the moon, it's better than Wolverine. That's all I'm saying. It's better than Wolverine. And this is also the incentive variant, 1 in 100. And there's only a 1 in 10, which I thought was kind of weird, that they go just from a 1 in 10 design cover all the way to that 1 in 100. So it's almost like a Silver Surfer-esque power cosmic up Hulk, design cover, which is pretty cool. And then you got to go all the way to this Virgin Frank Miller, which, again, I mean, I liked his Maker cover a bit better, but it's better than Wolverine. Just saying. And this bad boy also has some action on the pre-sale market with $150 sales so far. That was just about a week or so ago. And we got a couple of copies listed looking for $150 up to $190 for this 1 in 100. So once again, we'll see what that means and where this goes as the week goes on. That's why it's the watch list. We're seeing what's coming out. Don't rely too much on pre-sales because sometimes they can mislead you. Other times they can be a good indicator of what's going to happen when books hit those shelves. So going to keep an eye on it, keep tracking it, and see how this plays out as the week goes on. Now, with that all said, for those of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot yet, please use my link below. First-time users, you get yourselves a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. You get yourself something nice. You help out the channel. $15 just for trying out Whatnot, and you really got nothing to lose just to give it a try if you haven't already. Now, with that said, these are things that I'm not giving it a try. These are things that I'm currently reading and keeping up with. And this is my list, which is actually pretty short for this week. To be fair, I thought this would be a bigger list starting off the new year, but starting off a new year, starting off the month, sometimes these are shorter weeks. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But Batman 156, we see the Riddler's plan finally revealed. Cool. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to reading more Batman. Cover A. We've got 3 other open order cover options here as well. Tony Harris is pretty cool. Dig that one there in the middle as well. And then we also have a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 option available as well. Just like most DC variants, these can be found under ratio if you're shopping for them. So good luck and go get them if you want them. And then apart from this, Saga. Getting a new issue of Saga. So Saga number 71. And they gave us all of this as a write-up. Who dis? But realistically, do you need any more? I don't. I'm going to read this regardless. So you don't need to sell me on some huge paragraph of yada, 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 you bullshit that I got to read. Nope. I'm going to read this. So who dis? That's enough. I'm picking this up. Saga number 71. And with that, sometimes you got to do things and you got to pick up your supplies, things you don't like to spend money on, but you got to do them to keep your collectibles safe. And if you're going to do it, you might as well save money while you do it. So use the link below and my code RENA10 to save yourself 10% off your next BCW order when you're grabbing your bags, your boards, your short, long boxes, your graded boxes, top loaders, whatever you need to get to keep your collectibles and comics safe. Save money while you do it. So use the code RENA10 to save yourself 10% off that order. Now, with that said, other things I just got to do are some more books that I just got to continue on. I just got to ride them out a little bit longer, starting off with Batgirl number 3. This is a tricky one. I've liked it, but I've not loved this series so far. So I got to see it through a little bit further. So we still got Lady Shiva. You still got Cassandra Cain. We got these undead warriors are going against. I guess I'm going to have to see through this first arc. Just see it through a little bit further. So issue 3, I'm picking this up. 2 cover options here as far as the open orders go. We got an A and a B, and then there's also a 1 in 25 incentive here as well, featuring the leader of those undead ninjas or whatever the heck we're calling. I can't remember what they're called. They're not the Hand, but it's basically DC's version of the Hand is how I'm seeing them. That said, they still look kind of cool in an Assassin's Creed kind of way. 1 in 25. This thing, well, we'll see how this plays out, how this goes, but saw a sale for under ratio and then listing asking for well above ratio. So one sold under 20 bucks, one's listed looking for 46 bucks. Not a lot of options out there, not a lot of options to make a decision on how this is going to play out, but it is worth noting and worth watching. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch it and see what happens as the week plays out. DC is also giving us the next installment of Two-Face, Trial by Separation. Similar to Batgirl, I liked the first issue, but I didn't love it. I like some of the concepts and ideas with the underground, the white church or whatever it's called, like with the underground justice system, how the criminals have their own justice system, like apart from the, actual judicial system. It's kind of interesting. And Harvey Dent being involved makes a lot of sense. Curious to see where this is going. So issue 2, I'll check this one out. Couple of covers here as well with an A and a B. And then we also have a 1 in 25 incentive here if you're interested in that as well. You can find that one under ratio. It's like 15 bucks in a lot of places. So pick it up if you want it. But otherwise, we'll keep rolling on to the next Just Gotta Do It. And that's Knights versus Samurai, which I'm still trying to get caught up on. That's why it's here. I know I'm going to enjoy this because I like Knights and I like Samurai. So I'm assuming I'm going to like this series. I also like David Dashmillion, who's writing it, who did like those, what's it, Count Crawleys or whatever. Polka Dot Man. He's the actor who plays Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad movie. But he also writes comics, has an interesting voice, and I like reading his stuff. So like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like this. I just have to catch up. So that's why it's in Just Gotta Do It and not in the reading pile, because it's one of those things I'm still behind on. Shoot, we're already up to issue 4. And with this is the cover A, which ain't bad, but man, this B cover is just fantastic. It's probably my favorite cover of the week. This Bjorn Barons, this just awesome samurai with this just cool mask, and I don't know, just awesome. I just dig this image, so definitely going to pick that one up. With that said, let's keep rolling to Marvel, where Ultimates issue 8 is coming out. Again, it's just kind of like I'm kind of an in and out, so I really do need to catch up on my reading of this series, but I have kind of glanced through some of the recent issues to kind of keep up, but I know I need to go back and read all this so I can fully appreciate it, because I've said it multiple times that the Ultimate Universe kind of lost me outside of Ultimate Spider-Man, but the Ultimate seems to be picking up with some more stuff. They're introducing more characters every issue here with new versions of America Chavez and Captain Marvel, etc. But pretty cool. This is the regular cover. Pretty cool B cover here featuring the Ultimate Captain Marvel, as well as an interesting 1 in 25 here as well. So pick up whichever one you like. That can be found for around ratio or less. So you can find it, go pick it up. With that, we also got some new number 1s coming out this week. Not a ton, because I already covered a couple in the opening segment, but we do have a few new ones to cover here, including the Atom Project, which is kind of a spin-off of the Justice League featuring some atoms. So looks like we're getting some different versions of the Atom to talk about. Multiple covers here as well, from an A and a B and a C. I kind of dig that Perillo in the middle. It's kind of cool, you know, perspective-wise. Look it up. And then we also have a couple of foils, as well as a 1 in 25, which is one of those fun little posters you would see around the offices way back in the day. I don't think any offices really do these anymore, and if they do, they need to be redecorated very soon, like right now, because yeah. Anyway, incentive 1 in 25. You can find it for under ratio if you're looking for it. So we'll keep an eye on it still, but I don't foresee that one doing much in the aftermarket this week. However, Cable could be a different story. So we're getting a new issue of Cable. This is Cable Love and Chrome. It's the start of a new 5-issue miniseries. Pretty cool cover A here, but I really like the Mark Brooks in the middle. Yes, that's actually Mark Brooks doing his Disneyfied style. I don't know if you follow him on IG, but he's been doing, and for a while now, just making characters look like Disney characters, like Marvel characters, and I kind of dig it. So you can see it in this animation kind of style on that cover, and I really like that one as well. And then we've got the stupid logo cover, which again to me is a waste unless you're getting a remark or a signature. There's no point to it. And a couple of incentives here. We got a 1 in 25 and an awesome Hidden Gems 1 in 50. Mike Mignola. I just dig that cover a lot. It is a wraparound cover, so here I'll show you the full thing here, so you can appreciate it. It's, I don't know, it's just pretty cool. I don't know, Mike Mignola. You don't get to see him doing Marvel characters too often, so even though it's old art, I'm happy to see it again, and it makes for a pretty decent cover. I just kind of wish the wraparound didn't put the trade dress in the middle like that, so it gets folded up. I know it's a poster, but still, they could have done a little better on the placement. It could have made it a gatefold. Instead of a wraparound, could have gatefolded out, and we could have put the Cable logo up where the Marvel logo is, and it would have played better for me. But then Cable wouldn't have been featured on the cover of his own book. We'd have been looking at Farrell and Shatterstar and Cannonball wondering, what the heck is this? So I guess it makes sense they did what they did. But yeah, I don't know. Point being, keep an eye on this one too. We've got some early sales here in the $44 range, which yes is under the 1 in 50 ratio, but then also about $80. And then asking copy is listed at $80. So will it go above ratio? I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. Boom is giving us another very long title, quoting my man, Jules from Pulp Fiction. When I lay my vengeance upon thee. So here we go. We've got a new series coming out of Boom with a cover A. We've got B's and C's, and then we've got virgin versions of all of these to give us our 1 in 10, 1 in 20 incentives, as well as the unlockable variant, which, you know, sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. We'll see what happens again with this one. It depends on the series. If the series is a hit, these unlockables are a hit. If the series is meh, nobody pays much attention to them. As you can see here, $11 for the unlockable, one listed for almost 20. If you're friends with your store, your LCS, maybe you can get this for cover price, because again, it's kind of like a one per store if they meet certain criteria, etc. But on top of this, there is a 1 in 25 Jay Lee cover, so look for that one as well. Virgin version there. Didn't see any sales to note as of yet, but hey, it's one of those tricky bits. But even with the incentives, it's just like the unlockable. If the story's good and the book is a hit, we see increases. Otherwise, it's just another book on the shelf, and yeah, it's just another book. With that said, we've got some incentives, not incentives, some variants to get to. A brand new, fresh set of theme variants for the month of January that we can cover here. DC, no longer doing the Christmas cards. Now we're getting DC sweater weather covers. Didn't find a logo for these, so I had to make my own. Hopefully you like it. But we got a couple of books to start off our sweater weather books, including Batman. So Batman 156. We've got Batman doing a polar dive of some sort into a bunch of villains who are already in the water. Fun? I don't know. It's all right, I guess. It's more on the silly side for the, I guess, the sweater weather. And then we get more of the Cheesecake side of the sweater weather here as well, with Poison Ivy number 29. So snowboarding there, top of the mountain, growing a flower. Cool. pick them up if you like them. I don't know how many of these they're doing or all the titles that they're covering yet, but I'll cover them all here and probably do a short closer to when they're all done. On top of that, we're also getting some more homage variants out of Marvel. Marvel's just hitting us up with a lot of these lately after The Thing and all that stuff. So here we are with Sam Wilson, Captain America, the homage variants. Again, couldn't find a logo, so I had to make my own. We're getting Avengers number 22. Nice little callback to Captain America 111. Yeah, but newer characters, obviously, throughout. I dig it. I like it. Not bad. And then here's a different one. We don't see this one homaged all that often. How about for Sam Wilson number 1, them giving us this awesome 383. So 383, that was a Ron Lim, inked by Jim Lee, mind you, back in the day. Special triple-sized 50th anniversary issue. Little gold, gold ink there on it too. It's a book you can find in the dollar bins, but I always liked that cover because, again, at the time, Jim Lee and Ron Lim, they were my favorites. I mean, Ron Lim doing Silver Surfer and Jim Lee obviously doing the X-Men. So those two working on a piece of art together was fun, and it was kind of cool. With that said, not a lot of these variants for Sam Wilson coming our way. Here's the list of what we're come to expect. We're only getting one a week the rest of the month. So I'm not going to be able to do shorts each week on these. I'll just have to do one short covering all of them. One of the weeks coming up. When I find an empty spot, I'll throw it in there. But you can see there, 2 this week, 1, 1, and 1 coming our way over the next few weeks, except the 22nd. So they're skipping the MLK week for one reason or another. But apart from these, Sam Wilson homage variants, homage variants, and yeah, maybe I will make a t-shirt doing that because you can say it all 3 ways. I've heard it all 3 ways. But we've also got some Fantastic Fours. So Fantastic Four, we're getting a buttload of these this month. I think we're getting like 24 of them. This week, we're starting off with a healthy 4. So Daredevil. So in Daredevil 17, I didn't see it at first look, but yeah, there it is. It's a Hulk 181. I mean, we see the Hulk 181 so often, it's easy to kind of overlook it, and it's just not featuring characters you would expect. I mean, it's Human Torch and the Thing going at it in this one. All right, it's kind of cool. We're also getting on the Sam Wilson Captain America number 1. Here's another variant. So you notice, even apart from the ones I showed you earlier, there's still more variants because they fit in these other segments. But we're getting the homage variant of Fantastic Four. So we've got Human Torch and the crew there doing their best Captain America 100. Again, classic cover. Pretty cool. I like how they kind of laid it out. I wish the trade dress kind of leaned in more towards like the way the Captain America is. Like fill it out a little bit. Too much empty black space. And I don't know why when they went with the orange background instead of going with the same white. But I guess maybe it's because it's a torch. But still, close enough. And again, this isn't final art either, so this might lay out differently once this actually hits the shell, but this is the promotional image that is available to me. So this is what I'm looking at. But hopefully, like I said, they fill out that black box a little more evenly with the trade dress. That's my hope, at least. Then we're getting X Factor. X Factor number 6 doing their best X Factor 1. Pretty cool. I like it. So again, it's not one you see very often. But then we have one we see all the time. And that's X-Force number 7 with yet another giant size X-Men 1. Like, I don't know. This is just one of those covers I'm tired of, but considering they're doing 24 of them, you're not going to be surprised to see that they're doing an ASM 300 in there, and New Mutants 98, I think, is coming in there too. Like, there's very familiar covers coming our way. But here's the full list. So we got 4 this week. We'll only have a pair next week, but then a bunch coming the rest of the month. And I'm going to cover them all because I like covering these things. Now, with that said, Marvel is also giving us Madam Web variants out of nowhere. Don't have a list on these either, but it looks like they're doing something with each character who's been Madam Web at one time or another. So I can't imagine there's going to be many of these because there haven't been that many Madam Webs. But here we go. On the new issue of Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 28, it's Julia Carpenter. Cool. Then on the Ghost Spider book for this week, we're also getting Cassandra Webb. Cool. And I guess we'll get more of these if we've got more to go. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe this is it. I don't know. But it's what I saw. So we're starting this off here, this little subset section. Also, Marvel is doing their best copycat of DC's All-In covers. You know those All-In variants, those foil, they look like they're white covers, but they're foil, and they're just kind of basic looking, not basic looking, but almost like character portraits of a sort, almost like a trading card. I guess Marvel liked the idea, or Marvel said, hey, we're going to do it too, because here we go with Marvel iconic covers. These are all Todd Nauck covers, and we're getting Avengers number 22 with Iron Man on it. See what I'm saying? You know the DC covers I'm talking about? Actually, no, not even the foil ones. The ones with the logos behind them. Just the new number ones in all these all-in books. Look like this. Now, Marvel's copying their style. I don't know. But iconic variant cover by Todd Nauck. Got one this week, and I think that's it. But many more coming our way in the months ahead, apparently. This is not even gonna just be like just this month. We've gotten a couple more this month, 2 more this month, 1 in February, and then coming later this year, whenever that is. So buckle up if you want to collect this set. With that said, we've got more covers coming your way. Not too much. We're gonna get through this list pretty soon. I think I've got maybe another 10 minutes in me here. But covers I like. Just straight up, that's all it is. Covers, I like them. I mentioned a few already in the other sets, other segments, but here's a Mark Spears Shazam. It's classic, iconic look. I mean, yeah, you get those Alex Ross vibes. Cool. This is Shazam number 19. Can't argue. I just like it. Avengers 22, which we just talked about. I dig this Black Cat. So this is by Valerio Schiti? I can't remember how to pronounce it right. It's not the way I was initially going to pronounce it, which is shitty because it's not. I just looked it up, but I can't remember now how it is. I just know it's not the wrong way. That said, Avengers 22. I like the Black Cat. I like all the cards. It's kind of a fun little add-on, little aspect to the cover to kind of fill it out. I don't know. I like it. I also like this simple Lyrics Lee cover here on Daredevil. It's just a cool look. I mean, usually you see Leslie Lee. I know more as Lyrics Lee, but you always usually see the sexy girl covers. But I kind of like seeing, a cover like this. It's just kind of a bold, iconic look. It's got a touch of a anime kind of vibe to it a little bit, but I don't know. I dig it. I don't know. It's cool. Daredevil, number 17. This is the one I'm picking up because the Ramita is just, don't like it. So this will be the cover of Daredevil I'm getting for myself this week. Also, Miles. I brought up that Miles Morales has a new issue this week. This is just a cool cover. I like the layers of it. You got Miles in the front, and he's in front of a Black Panther who's then filled in with the city as the background. It's just, I like the layout. It's cool. Pick it up if you think it's cool too. What else we got? Ghost Spider. Yeah, so the regular Ghost Spider on this one is a Mark Brooks, and this is more closer to the traditional Mark Brooks that we're used to seeing, not the anime kind of vibe, but I like the layout of this. You got the black tarantula there with the sword, and you got the cage. Cool. It has a little bit of a hint of the animation style in her face, but it's not completely Disneyfied. But I do like the Disney look that he's been doing lately. It's just kind of fun. Also got another EM Gist this week. I think last week there was a Green Arrow cover. But this week he's giving us a pretty awesome Werewolf by Night. I just like seeing werewolves fighting. Cool. And with that, we've got later prints. So now we're going to shift on over to later prints because we got quite a few. Starting off with facsimiles. Teen Titans. So most of the Teen Titans first appear here in this issue of DC Comics Presents number 26. And here we go with a facsimile of it. Cool. I mean, this makes sense. It makes sense to do a facsimile of a book like this. This is a classic. A lot of first appearances in it. This is a book a lot of people may not have in their collection. Now they can get a copy. Now you can also see how much shit they had at the top of the cover there when you look at the trade dress version. I mean, Jesus Christ, it looks like a food truck at a state fair. Like it's just listed with free hot dogs covered in pancake batter. I don't know. It's just a lot going on for a blank. That's all I'm saying. And then, of course, DC's got to slap some foil on it and get some extra $2 out of you if you want to get your shiny. So you can get your shiny copy for $7.99 if you want. Now, up next, I almost did a whole WTF section following Frank Miller bit before, and just, I don't get the need for this. Why do we need a facsimile of Batman 608? There are so many copies and reprints already of this book. Why do we need a facsimile reprint of this? Doesn't make any sense to me. I get it. Hush 2 is coming, but come on now. There's already plenty available. Who doesn't have this already? But $4, get it if you need it. There's also blank, which is more blank than the other one. Cool. If you need it. Also, if you want to pay $2 more, $6.99, get yourself the shiny foil version. But again, there's already plenty of these out there. I don't get it. I don't get it. But it is what it is. But before I move on, more things I don't get. Why do we need a second print of The Walking Dead Deluxe number 100? Considering this is a reprint of a reprint. I don't know. It's making my head hurt a little bit because the deluxe version is reprinting the original series but in color. And we'd already had reprints of that one, the original. Now we're getting the deluxe version that's colorized, and now this gets a reprint. I don't know. I guess if you need it, you need it. You missed out. Cool. Go ahead. But they had multiple covers on issue 100, like the first time around. Like there are a lot of available. Like this Walking Dead's not like a secret anymore. If you're still reading Walking Dead, you know, you should have been prepared. Why didn't you get the first print of it? I don't know. But I guess the second print was needed. Just like Aliens versus Avengers. Yep, these supersized $8 books. I just kind of wish these were more monthly. I wish it was monthly. I keep forgetting about this series, and I'm looking forward to it continuing, but man, there's so much time in between issues that it's just easy to just overlook it. But to kind of catch you up, if you just did miss it, issue 2 is getting a second print. And there is an incentive variant here as well, which is a virgin version of the cover A when you take all the trade dress nonsense off of it by Isad Ribic, if I'm saying it right or not. I only found one pre-sale of this second print for issue 2, and it was only for $15, but there's none listed. This could be a tricky, sneaky one because the first issue was like that. It was a little sneaky and ended up getting pricey for a little bit. And then a lot of copies started hitting and then prices kind of came down. So I'm kind of curious if this will follow suit or what, but something to keep an eye on. We're also getting a second print of Amazing Spider-Man 61, starting off the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man run here. Cool. New cover art. That's always appreciated. They're on the regular second printing, and then they made a version of one of the other covers for the 1 in 25, which is Scotty Young, which, again, it's kind of cool, but I don't know. We'll see if it's needed. Just like the last book, I only found one pre-sale, and it was under ratio at $20, but there's none listed. So, again, I don't know what could happen with this. Scotty Young has a fervent fan base, and I can see a lot of people chasing this because it's a Scotty Young. Second print incentive could be tough. We'll see what happens come Wednesday. And then finally, for our later print section, we have Monsters number 1. Yes, Mark Spears Monsters number 1 is coming with a third printing. Cool. If you missed out, because hey, the second print went up in value. I mean, error version aside, even the regular second print got kind of tough to find there for a while. So hopefully, those who want to get this can get this and get it at a price that's affordable. $6. Third printing, cool cover with the Wolfman there at the at the payphone. It reminds me of Monster Squad. Remember when the Wolfman in Monster Squad was calling the cops on the payphone? Kind of reminds me of that. But I don't know, pretty cool cover. And again, if you haven't read this, I know a lot of people buy comics just for covers, but this is why I like this book and why I talk so much about Mark Spears here on this channel, because Mark is pretty talented. If you go and read the interiors too, not only did he write the story, he did the interior art as well, which is the same as the cover art. It's not like a bait and switch and you open up the book and there's just some crappy art inside. No, Mark Spears is doing the art on the inside and it's just as good as the covers. So give it a look-see. Plus, he's a decent storyteller. Not everybody who can do covers can do interiors. It's just different talents, different skill set. But I like it. Just saying. So give it a read. Give it a read at the very least. And it's got a pretty cool incentive variant. You know, again, I've come to get used to the idea of these incentives on later printings. But here we go with a 1 in 20 Nightmare on Elm Street throwback. It's just cool. And I will admit, I actually did order this one because Nightmare on Elm Street was one of my favorite film franchises when I was younger. In the 80s, was my favorite horror franchise. I like Freddy more than Jason and Michael Myers. Freddy was my guy. So I did make sure to pre-order one of these for myself, even though it is an incentive on later printing just because I wanted it. I wanted it for myself. That's what we do. And with that, it is a little pricey, even with those pre-orders. $75. This thing is basically selling for already. Asking prices $75 to $80. We'll see if it stays there or comes down. Who knows? I didn't pay 75, but I did pay a little bit extra. But I was happy to do it because I wanted it. Sometimes that's what you do. You want something, you pay what it costs. That said, Cheesecake covers. We're almost done. Just a couple more segments here. Starting off with the Cheesecake covers, we will go first with Birds of Prey number 17. Pretty cool. Yeah, we got this, and we got this. I really dig this Inyuk Lee cover here with a couple of the other characters in the book. I don't know. I just like the design. I like the layout. I like the way that it's bifurcated in the back with that angled cityscape. I don't know. And then the bats filling up. It's just a well put together cover, in my opinion. So I dig it. And then there is a 1 in 25, which is Rainbow. Wait, no, is it Rainbow? Is it Ryan Gonzalez. Ryan Gonzalez. But I like it because the style is unique. But I feel like the trade dress needs to fill up that empty spot at the top. Like, we need not limited trade dress. Give me the full trade dress because that empty area is missing it. It's missing it. Fill it with the trade dress. That's how it was. I'm guaranteeing you that's how it was drawn. So the trade dress would go there, and then DC doing the stupid limited trade dress. It's not filling the spot. It's got a corner box, for God's sakes. Do it right. Anyway, moving on. Poison Ivy. Yeah, cover A is, again, usually the cover A's on Poison Ivy aren't that cheesecake, but they're still really good. So I got kind of thrown where to put it, because I do just want to put this in the cover that I like, because I do like the art here. But then you do the rest of the covers and you see, well, they kind of fall in the cheesecake angle. So you got the Villa Lobos there. You got the Jenny Frizen, both gorgeous covers. And then we've got some incentives, and that Villa Lobos is the 1 in 50 as well. And then we've got a 1 in 25 if you're interested in that. The Villa Lobos 1 in 50 saw a couple early sales. We'll see what happens. $43, $40, and then one's listed at $250 with a signed pre-sale CGC whatever from like Fan Expo. I don't know. Early pre-sale. But then the listings of prices of copies available. One's looking for 40, one's looking for 80. So it's just kind of want to see what happens with this 1 in 50. It'll probably most likely just end up under ratio, like many of these DC books and many of the Marvel incentives. Many incentives, I should say. At least 80 to 90% of them fall well below the ratio price right away. Like within a week, that's usually where they all fall. So with that said, we'll see what happens with this one. Then we also got, well, of course, we got Dynamite. We got Vampirilla. So issue 673, we got a Perillo. It's Perillo doing Vampirilla. Then we've got a couple other options here. I forget who did the art on the two. There's a Codius, I think. And then I don't know. I'd take the one in the middle. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of in your face, but that's what this segment's all about. Just well done. And then we also have the cosplay cover, and then a 1 in 7. And I don't know what's the weird 1 in 7. Dynamite's just weird. They do so many covers, and I'm just trying to show you one of each, because then all the other covers I showed you are also incentives where they're 1 in 10s and 1 in 15s and 1 in 30s and just odd numbers and slight variations on each. I needed to show you the 1 in 7 though, because it was new art. That said, also whatever this Alien Armageddon 1944 book is, this is coming out. Cheesecakey cover here with a naughty version available as well. I had to cover it up because they had it up on Midtown and it actually wasn't covered up. So yeah, but I figured for our purposes here, not to make it not suitable for work, had to cover that one up here, but fits our criteria for Cheesecake. We're also got a Hell's Half Acre. Not all the covers fit the criteria here, but the Linzer does. So I put the Linzer cover here out of Magma Comics. I don't know, so many publishers these days. It's hard to keep up with all of them. But here's Antarctic with another Cayman America book. I'm trying to confirm the covers on these. I believe these are the covers we're going to get. We have this cover A as well as a cover B option, both of which, again, they kind of fit this in a anime manga kind of vibe style. So yeah. Remember Tales of the Bazaar? Those covers or whatever the heck, the AI most likely generated covers that everybody was chasing. Granted, we're not getting that here. They're kind of switching it up, but here's issue 10. If you want to keep reading Tales of the Bizarre, you can. And, well, while not as cheesecakey as the past, there's little hints of it, right? With that said, getting near the end, Terror and the Fury out of Zenoscope. It's like I don't know what, a Catwoman and a Captain America Punisher mashup, something or other, whatever. We've got other cover options here as well. Boom, boom, with the Royal, and then the Modest in the middle, which we will also make a little bit more risque for the 1 in 20 option. You know the story on the Zenoscope 1 in 20s. If you can find them and you want them, pick them up because they're not easy to find. They can go for a bit of a premium, but generally the collector pool is limited, but the prices can outweigh that as people will pay for things that they want. And then finally, for this segment, Zenoscope is also giving us a pinup special for 2024. So probably all your favorite covers that we've covered here in this segment will be inside this book. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but it is a pinup special. So pretty cool cover on it. Can't argue with that, right? And now, finally, our final segment of the day, incentives. There are going to be some regular covers in here to just kind of mix it up, but or kind of introduce some of the books. But there were enough interesting incentives that I brought this segment back. Split it off from just covers because Ahsoka number 7. Yeah, the Noto, it's fine. It's not terrible. It's all right. It's okay. But that's not why I have this here. I kind of like the 1 in 10 design variant, and that's why I put this in here. Yes, it's a design variant, but it's a Shin Hati. It's cool looking. I don't know. And we'll see what this does. I mean, she does have fans. $13 is above ratio. Asking prices 10 to 25. We'll see if this ends up, because this could easily be like a $15 book, even though it's only a 1 in 10. Just saying, I would not be surprised to see that. But if it goes above 20, then it's got more of my attention. We'll see. X Factor this week. We saw the homage variant with the Fantastic Four. This is the regular cover A, the Greg Land on X Factor number 6, but I kind of like the 1 in 25. It's a Polaris cover. You know, not bad. Not doing too much, so you don't generally find it for a ratio or thereabouts. X-Force. Haven't been reading X-Force lately just because I got tired of it. It just wasn't really, the team just wasn't really scratching me where I itch, but this cover is pretty cool. And this is the cover A. And then there is also a Sawi cover B, or other open order cover, I should say. Maybe it's not technically the B, but you know what I'm saying. Trade dress version. And we'll take the trade dress away for a 1 in 50 incentive on this X-Force number 7 as well. Not doing anything really above ratio. It's like $40 to $50 right now. Could do something as the week goes on. We'll see. But still pretty cool. Pretty cool cover. And up next, Final Fight number 3 out of Udon. You know, Final Fight game. Yeah, this could have gone like in the Cheesecake cover section because of this cover right here. But the reason why I have it here in the incentives is I love Big Trouble in Little China. So seeing a Big Trouble in Little China homage cover, that's a 1 in 5. It's just funny. I had to put it in here. So hopefully I can grab a hold of one of these. I didn't pre-order this because I didn't know they were doing this. I don't think. I got to double check my DCBS order. But just in case, I'm going to have to go look for Final Fight in Metro City doing their best to Big Trouble in Little China. No early sales on that, but I could see that one doing a little bit more than a 1 in 5 ratio. That could be a $10 to $15 book before the week is done. But then we have Spawn. This confuses me. Again, I'm not up to date with my Spawn, but here we are. Spawn issue 360. Not really a milestone number, not like a round number of a 350 or a 400 or 300, but 360. And yeah, we've got A's, B's, and C's. That part I'm fine with. But why all of a sudden for this particular issue? I don't know if something big happens on the inside, and that's why. But there's a 1 in 50. It's a 1 in 50 version for this issue. There weren't any incentives before this. There's no incentive on the next issue, so this is not a new trend they're starting. I don't know why. Issue 360 is getting a 1 in 50 incentive. But it's Spawn. And remember, every time I talk about Spawn, those Todd McFarlane fans, they are rabid in collecting what they can collect. And already $65, $70 asking prices. Well, One's looking for $200. The other one's already at $71 with a couple days left at auction. It'll end Wednesday, and we'll see where that one finishes. But yeah, this is kind of a weird thing. Why a 1 in 50 on this book? I don't know why. But Brett Booth doing Spawn, pretty cool. And with that said, that's all I got for you this week. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And thank you for all the support you have for me and the channel. I do appreciate it, and hopefully you will stick with us as the year continues into 2025. Still plenty of great stuff coming your way. Maybe some new segments, some new shows here and there, but all the constants will still be there with our regular lineup as we roll into the new year. So hopefully you're on board for that. And again, thank you again, and I'll see you all soon with some more content. All right, later.